Welcome to this seated workout, which is designed to meet the aerobic components of your Parkinson's exercise prescription. We've got 4 basic exercises which work both the arms and the legs. We're going to do a minute of each exercise, and in the second part of the routine, we're going to try and combine the arm and the leg movement together, which adds an element of complexity, which is another important component of your Parkinson's exercise prescription. Don't worry if you get your arms and legs muddled up. The idea of layering your exercise, putting on some more complexity, taking some off as and when it suits you, is a really vital part of understanding how exercise works for you and how you can make yourself your own expert. So I'm going to spend a minute on each exercise. We'll have a short break in between each one where I introduce the next exercise. You don't have to work at my pace, work at a pace and a tempo that suits you. And like I said, if you get muddled up, it doesn't matter. Remove a layer, keep practicing, and the more you practice, the better you'll get. You're not going to need any special equipment for this routine, only your chair and some space to move your arms and legs in all directions. Make sure your chair is strong and sturdy, and ideally without any arms. If you're exercising alone, it's a good idea to have a method of communication nearby should you need to reach out for any help. If you feel unwell, make sure you stop, and if any of the movements cause you any pain or discomfort, then either modify them or just miss that bit out. So if you're ready, let's begin. So we've got 1 minute on the clock for our first exercise, which is going to be a seated march. So you're just lifting one foot after the other, marching on the spot, sitting up as tall as you possibly can. Try and keep the shoulders down, the chest open, and move your feet at a nice steady rate, rhythm and tempo that suits you. You can either have your hands resting on your thighs like I'm showing you here, or you can just let them hang down by your side, whatever feels more comfortable. If you need to take a little break, then you can. But we're over halfway through our minute on this exercise. Try and keep that nice steady rate, rhythm, tempo going. Firmly plant the feet in towards the floor each time they land. And that is your minute done. Fantastic. So we're going to move from a leg exercise into an arm exercise, and we're going to do an alternating punch. So I want you to take one arm forwards, we come back in, other side, and we come back in. You need to make sure that your bottom's firmly planted into the seat of the chair, and we've got another minute on the clock. Here we go. Punch and in, punch and in. Allow a little bit of twist in your torso as you lead with each arm. Imagine you're punching through a target in front of you. Equal power through each arm. And that might feel a little bit tricky, but just keep working hard towards that. You're past the halfway point. So keep that power in your punch. A little bit of weight transfer from side to side and a little bit of twist through your torso. Nearly there. Fantastic. Let's rest the arms. Going back to a leg exercise. From that nice strong seated position, we're going to start with our feet at about hip width apart. We take one wide step out, a second wide step out, and then you come in and in back to where you started. We then let the other leg lead. So we go out and out, in and in. Keep going with me as we work through our minute of this one. Out and out. In and in. Aiming for nice big wide steps as you step forwards, and then bringing the feet into that parallel position as you come back in. Still trying to sit up as tall as you possibly can. And alternating the lead leg each time, but don't worry if you get muddled up. If you need to just stop, reset, and then start again, then that's absolutely fine. Once you've got a steady rhythm and tempo, just keep it going. We've just got a little bit longer to do with this one. Fantastic. So we rest the legs and move back to an arm exercise. It's the same pattern that we just did with the legs that you're going to do with the arms. We start from narrow here and we go out, out, in and in before repeating on the other side. Join in with me when you're ready. When we're in our narrow position, I'd like you to bring your hands into fists. And as you go to that wide position, spread the fingertips out. So we're making that movement as big as we can as we reach out. Very precise, very deliberate with the placement of your arms. And a strong, purposeful movement. Like with the legs, if you get the pattern muddled up, don't worry, just stop, reset, and go again. We're aiming to get symmetry in terms of our movement as we reach out and out, in and in. Sometimes both sides don't want to do the same thing, but really be very deliberate, very mindful and purposeful of getting it as good as you possibly can. Okay, that's our minute of arms. Now we're coming to that second part of the routine where we're going to try and combine the movements. So we had our march and our punches. We're going to see if we can do the two together. If you get muddled up, you just come back to the start, but try with me now, march and punch. If the arms and legs don't want to work together today, don't worry, you can always just do legs, you can just do arms, and you can come back to combining the movement whenever you feel ready. But these complex and challenging movements are really important as we train our brain as much as we do our body when we're working with Parkinson's specific exercise. As frustrating as it can be, just the practice of trying to get the movement right is doing really great things to help treat your symptoms. So we keep going with that nice steady pattern. We've just got a little bit longer to do on this one. Great stuff, and then we're going to rest. So with that one, we combined our punches with our marching. We've also done the wide, wide, narrow, narrow with our feet and with our arms. So let's see if we can do the two together. So we'll go out and out, in and in. And we alternate the lead leg each time. Follow on with me. If I seem to be moving a little bit too fast for you, don't worry, just go to a tempo that suits you. If you feel like I'm moving perhaps a little bit more slowly than you feel you can work on, then by all means, feel free to add a little bit more intensity, a little bit more energetic demand into that exercise. It depends on how you feel on any day, at any time. As long as you're working at a pace and a tempo that suits you, then you're doing something great. We've got a little bit longer to do with this pattern. Nearly there. Fantastic, and then we can have a little rest. We're going to give you another chance now to practice those punches and marches together. Once we've done that, we'll do the same with the wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So you've got 2 more rounds to do. First of all, it's our punch and our march. So 60 seconds off we go. Getting that strong rate and rhythm and tempo going. Feet and arms moving at the same time if possible, but you know that you can take a layer off or add it back whenever you're ready, whatever suits you best. What we really want is for you to be starting to get a little bit out of breath, maybe speaking in slightly shorter sentences, as you might notice I'm doing. So we're challenging your aerobic system. Nice wide, full breaths. Get the heart pumping. Fill the lungs with air. You've got about 10 seconds left of this one, so try and keep it up for me if you can. Fantastic. Have a brief rest before we go into your wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Remember, big when we go out, precise when we come back in. Make sure that you are sat nice and comfortably in the center of the seat of your chair, sitting up as tall as you can, nice strong posture, and away we go. We're going to go out and out, in and in. Arms and legs moving together if possible, but you can add or take away those layers of complexity as you need to. Working at a pace that suits you. Nice wide full breaths. Stay up tall. You have got less than 15 seconds to go, so keep working hard. Strong, powerful movements. Let's make this one the last one. Fantastic, well done. Thank you for joining me for that short aerobic chair-based workout. We added layers of complexity into our movement. We worked on our legs and our arms with strong, powerful movements. We'll see you again for your next workout, whenever that may be.